Mic check 1 2.
Hi guys. Mic check
Hello.
1 2.
What
Hi
is the
folks.
view? We started.
Yes, now. Hi folks.
Hi. Have we really started?
Yes.
Oh.
Can't you see?
Hi guys. Hi.
Do you want to do that again?
No. It gets everything.
She
The
has
good,
arrived.
bad, ugly. Nah, there's no ugly over here. Oh, pretty.
She has joined us. Okay. The trip has finally left the WhatsApp group. We really are doing this. So this episode was recorded 1 week after we talked about starting a podcast. At this point, we hadn't decided what we were talking about. We didn't even have a name, but we had momentum and desire, and we just wanted to fly. So this episode is really just about us figuring out what this podcast is about, why we're doing this, what we've done in the past 1 week since we talked about starting it. We thought that it would be fun to include you in this journey
So here we go, folks. Welcome to our podcast.
between you and us. Enjoy.
Hi guys.
Hi.
I've always wanted to say that, by the way. Okay, and welcome to the podcast without name.
Yes, it's going to
Yes.
have a name
Just yes.
eventually, someday.
Yeah. Okay, so welcome. This is our first recording. We're just kind of here to talk, right? But first, to introduce ourselves. Do you want to go first?
My name is Adesola. I'm in my 30s.
Early 30s.
I'm figuring out life. I'm navigating life daily. I'm a millennial.
My name is Adi Doing. I'm in my very, very early 30s. Very early. Because
Emphasis
young,
on the
very early. Duh. Young. Some of you will be feeling like, no, dear. Very, very early. And I am an accountant. I'm very married. I have a child. 4 year. You probably will be seeing her or hearing her voice one of these days. So yeah, like I said, this is our first recording. It's quite exciting. It's interesting and it's terrifying at the same time because I'm like, so backstory when we're trying to get like the right angle and whatever. I'm like, yeah, content creators go through this like every day. It's so ridiculous. I'm sorry, but it's very sorry. Why are we doing this? Why do we have a podcast?
Okay. We like to have conversations from time to time. Instead of just having these conversations during our own private space, why not just bring out some of these conversations that we have? To be honest, we just had this. We made this decision a week ago. Yeah.
Literally.
Last week we were talking. I don't even know what we were talking about, and then we just said maybe we can start a podcast. And then the next thing I know is by Monday morning we're ordering microphones. We're googling how to start a podcast. Yeah. So the way I make it sounds like we started on a whim. But I actually think that there are some underlying things that has been pushing this.
I'm
Sounds
sure
like-
by now you can tell that she's the serious one and I'm the unserious one. She believes otherwise, but you find out. Just stay with us, okay? Work with us. Okay.
we've been friends for quite a while.
We probably would tell you guys there'll come a day that we'll actually talk about how we met and how we've grown over the years.
So we're just basically two friends gisting and hoping that you listen to the gist and enjoy.
Come with us. Some of the things that we will be saying here would make sense to a group of people more than others. So we are Nigerians, and so very recently we've lived in Nigeria all these very many years. And when I say that, it makes us feel old, just like some years. So that's why we say that some of our conversations is born out of our experiences as Nigerians that have lived in Nigeria, and then maybe as Nigerians that are living in Canada. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's not like our experiences will color conversations, right? It's just we will say some things like speak Yoruba, for instance, and it will only make sense to know that we're Nigerians and that's why we're speaking Yoruba.
And we would try to translate when we remember to do
Yeah,
that.
can't promise that. We shall see. Let's see who's listening. All right.
Okay.
So we're talking about why we started a podcast. So we have these random conversations, and then we're like, "Hey, what's the worst that can happen if we just decided to put ourselves out a little and not be so serious with life every time, and just like share and talk? Maybe we'll find 100, 1,000, a million people like us that's just want to listen, because apparently people listen. We listen to different podcasts. It's just an extension of our everyday lives, like what we kind of do like on a regular. The only difference now is that there's the camera and microphone.
So we had this conversation on a Sunday evening.
Really?
Literally Sunday evening. We went to bed, and Monday my mind was just reeling. Okay, we're starting a podcast. We need a microphone. We need this. What do we need to start? And I think at some point I just gave in. I'm like, you know what? At least one thing I know is we're going to need a microphone, right? So let me check Amazon another microphone. And I pick up my phone. And in my head, I was now wondering, like, is Doing thinking about this podcast as much as I am? I picked up my phone to say, let me order. And I saw a text from Dory. Have you ordered the microphone? I'm like, okay, well, that answered my question. She's definitely feeling whatever it is that I am feeling.
Well, I would like to put out a disclaimer at this moment. I wasn't thinking about a podcast during work hours. If this as employers are okay with that, I'm very happy for you. But I wasn't. I definitely was very focused on my work. I wasn't thinking about no microphones or podcast or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm a very diligent, very hard worker,
Yeah.
and I tend to focus during my working hours.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. You can
Yeah.
go ahead.
Well, that happened. So in this idea of, okay, we're starting a podcast, what do we do? While I was thinking, I realized, you know what, we have tools out there. So I decided to ask AI.
Before we get into that,
Okay.
so just think about starting a podcast. Once I start thinking about, oh yeah, we need to do this, I'm okay, no, I can't do this. So it's actually quite exciting for us that we're doing this, getting a microphone, testing out audio, how does this sound, and all of that. I just kind of think about. I remember what I think was that Monday as well. No, we're
That
thinking
you were
about,
working.
yeah, when I was very busy at work, very, very just minding my work and everything, right? But I was just, we work with Gmail, so it just kind of caught my attention, like in the line of work, right? Oh yeah, we would need to have an email address, create stuff, make it official, and things like that. Because again, it just kind of makes sense that if we're going to do it, go all out, right? And I started trying to create an email address for us, and then we're asking about domain, asking all these interesting questions. I'm like, yeah, no, that's not me. Peace out. So if you guys are eventually fortunate enough to listen to this, it means that we came out of our shell, like we actually grew up. So
Yeah.
clap for us. So what next did we do? We still haven't created an email.
We don't have a name.
Yeah, we haven't decided on a name, so we don't have an email just yet.
So we asked, like, we're two millennials, we're Nigerians, we
I'm
live
Gen
in
Z, by the way.
Canada. Right. We are starting a podcast and we're trying to figure out what to start. And then we asked for, what do we need to do? And these are the steps that AI recommended. The first step, define your niche. What's our niche? Oh, we've been
And they're just staying alive.
No,
What would be
but
a
but that's,
niche?
that's what we've been talking about. It's one of the things that we talked about. This is a weekend thing. It's just we've had a long week, beautiful week, sometimes tiring week. Whatever week we've had, it's supposed to be like, and we're unwinding, just having conversation. So I think that's Abby.
That's a niche. Don't be serious with life. Take it from me. I'm the serious one. No, she's the serious one.
Okay. And as the other step, it says choose a catchy name. We will come back to this. Plan your format, be authentic and relatable. I know that we plan to be authentic and relatable, so I think we can check this box.
Yeah, 1 out of 15.
Leverage your cultural background. I mean, we're going to say what we know. We're going to say what our experiences. But
Again, it's not going to color our experiences or our conversations.
engage your audience. I hope that we have been
Well-
doing that so far. And if not, we will learn and we'll be better.
And just manifesting. Our goal sometime soon is that you guys can actually write to us and connect with us, and we can have conversations about the things that you want to have conversations about, and you can ask us questions. We can give our 2 cents or two. What do we
One
spend in?
cent.
Yes,
Two
we have cents in Canada, right? Yeah, pence? No, that's UK. Yeah, cents,
penny.
dollars and cents.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah. That took us a while.
wow. I feel like after hearing that, people are like, "Why will you be the ones advising?" I'm sorry. I deeply apologize. But yeah, hopefully we can engage with you guys. And I feel like, do you know weird? I've always felt weird about hi guys,
Yeah. I thought about it too. Like, I don't know about I guys. Maybe I people. Hello,
hi ladies and gentlemen,
ladies and gentlemen.
boys and girls. Hi,
We'll figure
is
it
it
out.
is it a feminist in us that has a problem with hi guys? Hi girls, hi people.
For me, I think it's just been overused.
Okay,
That's how I feel about it.
okay, we'll figure it out. So the goal for us is to be as relatable as possible, and of course, it's also having conversations both with ourselves and with you guys, or with you people. Okay, so that's too much work. I'm just gonna say guys. So having conversations with ourselves and
With you,
with
friends, listeners.
listeners just seems very formal. Anyway, what I'm getting at is whether guys or girls, guys and girls, is we want to talk about the things that we see and things that we hear, the things that we experience. And because again, we cannot exist in solitude. It's not, we don't know everything. So that's why we're hoping that it'll come to a time that we actually get to talk about what you want to talk about, or have people, just share stuff. And again, it's there's going to be a lot of figuring it out. Like, we're not going to have the best answers all of the time. So please don't cancel us.
The other things, all the other tips that we got was technical tips, like equipment setup. Promote your podcast. Well, let's record. Let's even have content first. Let's even have a name that we can even promote.
So, background story. We're both not very active on social media. And I remember at the beginning of this year, I posted, I think, 2 reels back to back. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And that's partly because we've just always wondered, why do you post your life?
Why do you put your life out there?
I
It
feel
just
like
feels
that.
very scary. I think at least I have an understanding of where mine comes from. It's like when you mess up, you fail in secrets. But when your life is out there, I mean, we're recording this now. I probably will say a word wrongly and get cancelled for it, or it's just the
But we don't care.
very little
We
thing. So
love-
it's
Sorry.
this idea of like when you fail, you actually failing publicly because your life is out there. So it's safer if my life is not out there, and let me deal with all the stuff that I'm dealing with.
Do you think
without-
that's a way to live though? Like, just the fear of, I mean, I totally get it. Like, there are very vile people on the internet. They are amazing people, but then they are very vile people. And you see comments and you kind of like, who raised you? How did we get here? So I see what people put, like the comments people put on other people's posts, and I'm like, okay, yeah, no,
Yeah.
let's keep our private lives private. But then I also feel like sometimes it feels like you have a lot to give, or
And you're holding yourself back because
just
of this.
in case. That's why we're hoping that it'll be amazing to have our first 100 subscribers. Like, just finding out that,
Yes.
oh yeah, there's someone that's
People are
listening to
into
this.
us, okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. It also says that consistency is key. Well, we'll find out. This is our first episode. We'll all find that out in the coming weeks.
This New Year resolution 2025 is consistency is the word. We can do this.
Yeah. The final tip is have fun. That one, I have been having fun so far, and I can promise you that if we don't even follow all these other things, this one single one
We're gonna
is
have
one of
fun.
the things that we plan to do, and we hope that you're gonna have fun with us.
Because what is there to life? What is there to life? Really? Like, yeah, I think one of the reasons why we decided to actually do it too was because there wasn't any other thing that, no outlet, right? So as adults, But then this is us trying to explore our fun side and just try to de-stress. And I don't say that to mean that we're just going to come and pour our life's problem on you guys.
Because that distress sounds so deep.
Yeah.
Sounds so
But
serious.
really,
Shell
it kind of feels like Monday to Saturday, you're on the go, on the go, on the go, on the go. And then on Sunday, this is just us being comfortable with you guys.
Anyways.
Okay. So remember how we said that we don't have a name yet? We did come up with a few,
Yep.
and we used AI for some as well. Before we go to the AI thing, we'll chat about the ones that we came up with, or the ones that kind of felt like we could use.
Okay, so the first one we came up with, the Sunday evening we talked about it. Doing confidently said the name of our podcast is Figuring It Out. I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest, because
Let me explain.
okay.
Let me explain. Is my name.
Okay.
It at the time it kind of felt like we're figuring. I mean, don't. Is there any adult that is not figuring stuff out?
We're
We're all figuring things out every day. You are figuring how to be a good person, how to be a bad person, how to be an adult, how not to be an adult, how to work, what to do, what the right things to do. There's just a lot to figure out. There's a lot to discover about yourself, about the world. So figuring it out, kind of, again, don't look to us for, we have the right answers. But that's what we're trying to do, right? Figure it out one day at a time, one episode at a time. When we talk about stuff, you realize that, oh, I probably thought about this different than this person. And then, okay, maybe I shouldn't feel so strongly about this thing and things like that. So we're figuring it out. I think the only problem with it is I couldn't find a way to make it chirpy, right? I couldn't find a way to make it fun and exciting, because then it almost feels depressing when you're figuring life out. So what else? What other name did you come up with?
So like in the course of the week I kept thinking of different things. For me, I was thinking about the idea of the podcast is just say what's on your mind, what you're thinking about. One of the ones that I was liking, something that has to do with tea. So like, tea, I mean tea figuratively, like
twinings.
It
Is it
say
twinings or twinning?
that thing
You get
that,
tea.
that's it, that is
I call
spelled
it
TWININ.
It's
I don't know if I
double N.
spelled TWININ.
I double N-I-N-G.
Okay. Whatever you pronounce it.
Let us know what the right one is. You see, we can be very bougie, but we can be very local as well. So yeah, help us
I would
out.
have, yeah. So I couldn't figure out what exactly I wanted to use. Maybe year for the tea. So something tea. The other one, the other one that I thought about that I actually kind of like is sip and chill.
We're sipping. We like to think that this makes us very probably not anything really.
Anyways, moving on. So I asked AI to suggest names for us. We got some very deep names, very philosophical and thoughtful names.
Kind of like what we are, very deep.
The perspective shifts,
Oh wow.
moments of clarity,
What is clarifying? Clarify, Gongon.
the inner monologue,
I liked that one. You're thinking to yourself,
the bigger picture.
nah. The thought process.
We said it's not that serious. Like, it's not that deep. Please give me something less serious.
And it's funny how like AI, how everybody's talking about how AI is taking over and things like that. So when ChatGPT started, remember I didn't like it. I didn't use it for the longest time. Everybody was using it. I'm like, yeah, no, why? But now I use it, and it's weird that we want to start a podcast and you're thinking to ask ChatGPT for names, and it did give us like very interesting names. It gave us some fun and playful names. I like unfiltered banter. But then again, are we unfiltered?
I think that the goal for us is we want to be authentic, right? We want to be relatable. But at the same time, there are certain things that we will just have to keep on the low. So I don't think it's going to be 100% unfiltered. And I don't mean that we would not say what we think. We would say what we think the way it is, but we would apply some emotional intelligence.
Yeah, because that's part of being an adult too. Yeah. You don't just blot out everything that comes to your mind. You have to think through it. Especially because we're intentionally being kind, right? So you know how they say that, how people say, this is how I am, you have to take me like that. It's just not out of kindness. You're not being conscious to be kind. So if you're being conscious to be kind, you want to say something, but you don't have to be cruel about it. You don't have to be blunt, like people like to say. So it's going to be filtered,
It's going to be real,
real
but,
for sure.
but not completely unfiltered. I might be overthinking the word overthinker
Yeah,
here.
I think it's the way it is. Random rants and real talk. Well, random, yeah, because there are different things that you experience in your life, like on different days, and then you are just like, imagine if I had a conversation with somebody about this. Is so random, but just like talking about it and just saying, yeah, this is what I found. So yeah, you get some random gists for sure, but you also get some figuring it out, some maybe deep sometimes, because we're not just on this
Hopefully.
office kind of thing, right? It just did not tick the box for us. Off the top. That sounds like you're taking off your top.
That's if you're speaking
My
local
Nigerian people
English
know.
off the top. I get it. Off the lights, yes. All of that, I get it. But off the top, that's not the first thing that came to my mind.
Touche,
So
Oyinbo.
what comes to my mind, literally, I completed it as off the top of my head.
Okay. Well, let's go to the quirky and memorable names. It suggested rabbit hole podcast. That is so weird. Like, why? What does that even mean? Like, you're going down the
you're
rabbit
going
hole.
down
Yeah,
rabbit
but
hole.
what's the prompt? Why would you suggest? Yeah,
You know,
moving on.
but that's what we're doing.
Going down.
Kind
No,
of.
going down the rabbit hole. No, thank
And
you.
now we're curious about what can we be if we are fun, what can we be beyond this serious person, and we're figuring it out. It's
I like to
curiosity.
think of it as going up, like spaceship, not rabbit hole.
Okay.
Moving on, the overthink tank, think tank, think tank, think tank. What do you call it? Tongue twister, think tank. But this is us trying to not overthink actually. So yeah, not fitting. Spill the tea. She already talked about tea.
Oh.
What? Which one? Your
No,
tea.
no. Yeah, I didn't even remember. I probably saw it. I just didn't pay attention. But
I like this one, the Chaos Collective, because I don't know if we recorded that part. I'm like, this is about to be chaotic.
yeah, I think there's been some chaos from the
So it's
beginning
a
of the
collection of
episode.
chaos.
Yeah,
But no,
collection of chaos.
damn, shade depth. I told you. Wise. Wisdom overflow. Maybe if you guys don't listen to our podcast, we'll start a music channel. So if you don't want to listen to us, better listen to our podcast.
Speak for yourself. I have so much talent. You should listen to me singing. I'm a professional bathroom singer.
So I'm sure by now you know that we still haven't found any name that we actually are considering, or maybe we have. Have
Okay,
we?
we do have a few that kind of stood out for us. And one of the ones that you said you really, really liked, you and your husband, Chai and Chat.
Yeah, I liked that. Or I like that. It's just I don't know. Like I can't decide on if, especially the chai part. If it's the again Nigerians chai.
Okay, so what she's referring to is Nigerian English, which we also call Pidgin English. So Chai, it's almost like ouch.
An
Almost like
exclamation.
it's an exclamation. To be honest, it means everything and anything.
Honestly, it depends on the context. It depends on the leading and the succeeding words or reaction to it. So it means a lot of things, which is why I'm like, yeah. So what? And apparently, there's chai seeds.
No,
tea.
that's chia. Are you thinking of chia seeds?
Oh, is it chia?
Yeah,
Okay.
but there's chai tea.
Yeah, there's chai tea.
So when she told me the name, the first thing that came to my head is she thinking chai the pigeon or is she thinking chai the tea? But my major gripe with it was it has too many H sounds for this girl that is from Ibadan. I don't know.
So yes, we haven't decided on chai and chat. Chai chat, chai chat, chai chat.
Okay.
We'll figure it. We'll find out what we decide on after. Because I
Eventually.
mean, we do have to get a name, right? So we'll figure it out.
Okay. There was another one, Maple and Melanin.
Yeah, maple and
This was
melanie.
also AI suggested and I really liked it. It suggested it's based on the prompt I gave you, right? So it was trying to mix up our black
background.
Nigerian African heritage with the Canadian. He was trying to blend both, and then we googled what maple
Maple.
symbolizes,
I'm happy
and
to tell you. Let me be the one to explain this. I am Maple, by the way, and it means
yeah,
something about like having wisdom, And I'm like, yeah, that's very befitting because
you can
I'm
be,
wise.
you're going spewing a lot of wisdom.
Oh, deep.
Too much
Mm.
sense.
The depth is surprising.
Hmm.
The level of wisdom you'll be getting out of here,
Ah, oh,
it will
deep.
shock you. Honestly, it will shock you because, I mean, it kind of feels like so far, you probably won't expect the level of wisdom.
Yeah, that you'll get.
But trust me,
Stay tuned.
oh, deep, deep. And then Melanie was going to be, I mean, again, we're black girls
Yeah.
or brown girls.
So riding off maple and melanin, you suggested chocolate and caramel. Chocolate and
Ooh-wee.
caramel. But the thing is, chocolate is sweet, caramel is sweet. And I think that both of them, I embody both of them. I think I am actually sweet. I can't say the same for Dorian, to be honest.
The Lilu is the new Salulu. But I'm very sweet.
Yeah, you can be. But
What do you mean you can be? I'm very sweet.
I think sometimes you don't, like you try to be mean. It just comes out. And after you've said it, you realize that maybe I should have said that.
I mean, don't we all have that? It doesn't mean I'm not sweet. I'm still very, 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 very sweet. I'm
Just
very
joking.
straight.
I'm just joking. I actually think that you're kind. You're a nice person.
So that's why we can't go with chocolate and caramel. We're both sweet.
No, we can
Not
actually
sweet.
we can do it.
Sweet.
It sounds. I like that. We already have what's it called
Soundtrack. As in,
chocolate and caramel. And I actually did
Ooh-wee.
check. There is like
no, I think you
because-
found one.
yeah, but
It was maple and melanin that you didn't find.
fine. Even for chocolate and caramel, it was just one. They recorded just one episode back in 2021, and it
gave
wasn't even just chocolate. I think it was like the chocolate and caramel or something. It had like, so it wasn't just chocolate and caramel.
Maybe. By the
so-
time you guys are listening to this, would have settled on
anyway, I'm thinking
chocolate and
mm,
caramel.
Then actually the sip and chill that I was talking, it came from the chai and chat, because I'm like, okay, so the idea is to just, and I was thinking of chai tea. I'm like, okay, what if sip and chill? There are a lot of
I can
podcasts
never
with the name.
Think of chai tea. I am not a tea person. She likes to drink tea once in a while.
Sometimes tea over coffee.
And when I say tea, that's tea as in tea bags, no hot chocolate. Like we're trying to call it now.
We're not trying to call it now. That's just
Oh.
the correct thing.
Okay,
Alright.
okay.
I lost my train of thought. I wanted to say something,
The
but I've
names.
forgotten.
And our teas.
So, anyways, those are the names that we thought. Eventually, we would decide on one, and you guys will be let
Find
in the
out.
loop
Find out.
what we decided to name our podcasts.
Wait, what if we don't put a name on it? You know
And
how
then we
boys
just-
sing?
Yeah.
But good, we're just vibing. We're just
Why
vibing.
do
There's
we
no
need
need to put a label on
Exactly.
it.
Why do we need to put a label?
No labels. Just
So-
vibing.
This is the podcast with no labels.
If we ever do decide on a name,
when we do.
oh
decide
yeah,
on
when
it.
we do decide on a name, you'll find out. So welcome guys, welcome people, welcome boys and girls.
Welcome, friends.
Yeah, welcome friends. Let me ask, what's the one thing that you want, like your topmost desire for this podcast? What do you want to get out of it? If you had to choose just one.
Go first while I think about it.
Mine is expression. And I know I said one thing, maybe two things: expression and community. I see how, so there's a content creator in Nigeria, Ife Dang, how, or Tomike, how they have a community of people, and not just the big names. Even there, I love YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube, or I used to. I don't watch it as much, but I used to. But I still have my like people that I follow and I really like, both on Instagram and on YouTube. And I see how they have the community and people actually engage with them. Is interesting. Like, I have conversations with some of them, and I don't know them from anywhere apart from me listening to them or watching them somewhere. So that's the things that I look forward to in starting this podcast, to be able to express ourselves, find expression behind just like the seriousness of our lives, our everyday lives, and find community. Have a group of people that we're able to connect, even if we don't know ourselves physically. Imagine if you heard my voice like outside and you're like, I know that lady, I've heard her voice before. And that happened to me recently. Actually, I heard one YouTuber's voice outside, and I just called her name instinctively because I had heard her voice too many times, right? And yeah, that's what I look forward to.
So I still cannot articulate what I was thinking, but it's riding off of expression. I get to find me, right? So for the past couple of years, I've kind of been focused on, just the daily motions. I felt like there was a point in my life where I used to be more fun than I currently am. It was like there was that girl that had other things going on. My life lately has been centered around work or the next path in my career or what's the next thing I want to do for myself. I've just been focused so much on life and it's almost like things are just happening to you and you're not doing things right. And so my inner child is striving to come out. I'm looking for me and I hope that I find
Please join our search party to find Adisola. I don't know where she lost, but help us to find her. Thank you very much. I think we've come to the end of our first episode. Yes, yes. I can't believe we actually did this. So thank you guys, people, girls, human beings.
thank you for
joining us on this
for
ride.
this. Yes, we've taken you on a journey. we've
Walk with us. Walk with us.
We've taken you on a journey. If you're still here, you did by now. Thank you so much. We are so excited that you decided to stay, and we do hope that you're going to listen to all the other episodes that comes after this as well. It's going to be fun. We plan to have fun while we're doing this, and we're just asking you to join us and have fun. And maybe in the middle of the fun and conversations, you might be able to find a gem or two. It might answer a question.
Because deeply, we are wise. Oh, I promise you, we are wise. Oh, no, I'm not even joking right now. I don't know why she's laughing, but like we are really wise. Sometimes, like you say some things. Sometimes I'm like, oh wise, oh deep.
But yeah, we just hope that somewhere along the line we might say something that would resonate with you. And beyond listening, please please subscribe, please share.
Like, subscribe, and share.
When we put this out, we should be on everywhere you listen to your podcast, right?
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple, the ones I can think of.
Maybe
we
YouTube.
will try to be on YouTube as well. We might not put visuals for now, but we are going to be everywhere. So thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for hanging out with us.
We drop new episodes every other Sunday, so make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast.
We'd love to hear from you, so give us a like, follow, comment, DM on Instagram or TikTok.
Until next time,
Bye.
bye.